Chapter 356 Adventure. Just as countless thoughts flitted through Jang Nanen's mind, the wheel started to spin once again. As they all stared at the weird symbols on the wheel, everyone wore an ugly expression on their faces. They prayed that for their adventure round, the task would not be too perverted. Everyone's breathing started to become more and more tense. As they stared intently at the spinning wheel, they all knew that they could be next. A ray of golden light shone. This time, it lit up underneath Jang Nanen's feet. This meant that she was up next. She had still not gotten over her shock at Bei and Shu Sanchi's predicament. Instantly, the color drained from her face as she stared at the wheel in shock. The wheel started to slow down. A different symbol appeared in front of Jang Nanen. This symbol looked weird. There were 3 fists on it, one of which was larger than the other 2. You have to defeat 2 other randomly chosen opponents. If you beat them, you pass. If you lose, you'll enter the deep adventure round. If your opponents win, their tasks shall still be decided by the wheel, but their difficulty level will be reduced. If your opponents lose, their tasks shall still be decided by the wheel, but their difficulty level will be increased. The wheel turned golden. This time, 2 rays of light started to spin rapidly. 1 versus 2. While this adventure was not as perverted as Shu Sanchi's, it was still extremely difficult. Among everyone here, who was weak, furthermore, everyone in the Tang Sect had good ties with each other. How could she possibly fight them? The 2 rays of light stopped. When she saw where they stopped, Jang Nanen sighed in relief. This was the best possible outcome. The 2 rays of light stopped at Ningtian and Wu Feng, the odd couple. They flashed, and then the 2 of them entered the arena. The 3 women in the arena faced off against each other. Wu Feng and Ningtian exchanged gazes. Both of them had an odd look in their eyes. Jang Nanen did not know what they had experienced in the first round. Neither did she know that they had feelings for one another. However, Jang Nanen had no psychological baggage fighting them. This place was like a round stage. While it was big relative to the wheel, it was not big enough for soul masters to fight. 5 soul rings rose simultaneously from underneath Jang Nanen's feet. At the same time, her second and third soul rings lit up. Wu Feng and Ningtian felt themselves getting heavy, and only then did they realize that something was amiss. They recovered quickly from their awkwardness, just in time to see Jang Nanen appear suddenly behind Ningtian and reach out to grab Ningtian's shoulder. This was Jang Nanen's second soul skill, gravity control, and her third soul skill, instant teleportation. While Ningtian was an auxiliary type soul master, she placed a great emphasis on protecting herself because she had no way of fighting someone directly. A layer of light suddenly shone from her body. This was a class 5 protective soul barrier. At the same time, she moved her body forward, and a shuttle type soul tool appeared underneath her feet, propelling her forward and away. However, while she took defensive steps, how could Jang Nanen not have made offensive preparations? As a close combat soul master, Jang Nanen's fighting style and techniques could only be unleashed when she was close to her opponent. The appearance of soul tools was able to check her battling style. Hence, as one of Shrek's 7 monsters, Jang Nanen had made a special request to the academy for a set of close combat soul tools. In the tournament earlier, she did not have many chances to fight. Furthermore, as they faced extremely powerful opponents in the group round, she was unable to use her close combat soul tools. Now, however, she got her chance. 2 silver rings started to shine on both her middle fingers. A set of silver gloves appeared on her long arms. A silver, suction cup-shaped pattern appeared on the palms of her gloves. The suction cup patterns instantly released rays of light that violently drew Ningtian's soul barrier towards them. She had no chance of escaping. Not only that, but 5 sharp knives also sprang out of the fingertips of Jang Nanen's gloves. Like a hot knife cutting through butter, they slashed through the protective soul barrier and went straight for Ningtian's shoulder. However, they were not mortal enemies. They were all from Shrek Academy, and the moment Jang Nanen's hands touched Ningtian's shoulders, she retracted the knives immediately. All she did was squeeze Tian's shoulder with her palm. All of Jang Nanen's soul skills were meant for close combat. If one thought that she was weak, they would be deeply mistaken. The moment she got close to a target whose strength did not surpass hers, the fight was over. Ningtian lost all feeling in her shoulder after Jang Nanen grabbed it. Her entire body felt weak, as if her blood vessels had been sealed. It became more difficult to circulate soul power through her body. The protective soul barrier that Jang Nanen had broken though disappeared. She felt the world around her swell as Jang Nanen picked her up. This all happened in an instant. By the time Wu Feng rushed over, Jang Nanen had already lifted Ningtian off the ground. An angry dragon roar could be heard. Wu Feng's entire body blazed with a fiery light, and fiery red dragon scales appeared on her. By lifting Ningtian, Jang Nanen knew that she was completely exposed in front of Wu Feng. Wu Feng did not lack fighting experience. She reached forward with her dragon claws, and her 4th soul ring started to shine. To save Ningtian, she used her most powerful soul skill. Wu Feng's body disappeared. The fiery red light turned into the shape of a huge dragon that bounded into the air, barreling straight toward Jang Nanen. This was her 4th soul skill, Dragonflight. However, Jang Nanen's 4th soul ring started to shine too. As a layer of golden light flashed, Wu Feng landed a direct hit on her. Bang! Boom! Jang Nanen threw Ningtian down onto the ground ferociously, instantly dazing her. When her body touched the ground, Ningtian finally realized how terrifying Jang Nanen was. She felt her body was almost tenfold heavier. When Jang Nanen let go, a suffocating power came from her hands, causing her soul power to dissipate. Just like that, she crashed hard against the ground. Even though Ningtian wore a protective layer of soft armor, such a hard landing knocked her out cold. Her entire body felt like a fragile, collapsing structure. The boom afterward came from Wu Feng crashing into Jang Nanen. With her 4th soul skill, Invincible Golden Body, Jang Nanen was unscathed. Wu Feng, however, was bounced away. Jang Nanen smiled. Having taken care of Ningtian, she became more confident. Without the 7 treasures glazed pagoda's augmentation, Wu Feng was no match for her alone. Her small frame flashed, and Jang Nanen rushed toward Wu Feng, who had taken up her human form again. From an outsider's perspective, Jang Nanen was the weak link among Shrek's 7 monsters. However, when they actually faced her, both Wu Feng and Ningtian finally realized how terrifying this beauty could be. Her jade-like legs suddenly increased in strength. Instantly, Jang Nanen's speed reached Wang Qiu's level. However, her body was much more flexible. She was not as violent as Wang Qiu. Over such a short distance, Wu Feng was unable to see Jang Nanen clearly after she increased her speed. Jang Nanen was right on top of her almost instantly. Wu Feng grunted, and the 2nd and 3rd soul rings on her body lit up. Dragon Fury, Dragon Burst. An intense red light shone from Wu Feng's body. Everything within a 1.5 meter radius appeared to have exploded. Jang Nanen's body suddenly stopped 3 meters in front of Wu Feng. This sudden stop, which went against all physics, was just enough to let her dodge Wu Feng's burst. Not only that, but Jang Nanen's hands turned as bright and spotless as jade. This was one of the Tang Sect's secret techniques, mysterious jade hands. Huo Yuao had mastered the purple demon eyes better than anyone else. However, Jang Nanen, who specialized in close combat, had spent a lot of time effort refining the mysterious jade hands. Jade-colored light swelled, and Jang Nanen reached out with her hands before separating them. At the same time, the power of Dragon Burst reached its peak. Dragon Fury still blazed, but as Jang Nanen pushed with her hands, this intense heat was forcibly and quickly parted. Tang Sect's secret technique, controlling crane capturing dragon. Jang Nanen body twisted to the side, and just like that, she was able to move toward Wu Feng in this odd fashion. The tips of her toes lightly touched the ground, and her entire body charged toward Wu Feng in this weird position. Wu Feng was not afraid. Her 1st soul ring lit up, and dragon fire rose. Her dragon claws slashed toward Jang Nanen. She did not believe that with her martial soul, a fire dragon, she would fare worse than Jang Nanen in a head-on clash. They were both 5-ring soul kings. Even though her soul power might be stronger, how much stronger could it be? Indeed, in terms of the strength of their martial souls, Jang Nanen did not surpass Wu Feng by that much. However, her fighting style was the perfect counter to Wu Feng. As her martial soul was a fire dragon, her fighting style focused on maintaining a medium to close range with her opponent. In a wide enough arena, she would be able to demonstrate her mid-range fighting style to the best of her abilities. There, it would be difficult for Jang Nanen to win. However, this arena was way too small. This was an advantage for those who fought at close range. At this close range, Jang Nanen had an absolute advantage. Jang Nanen's response to Wu Feng's dragon claws completely shocked the latter. Her body fell forward swiftly, something most people could not do. However, Jang Nanen pulled this feat off with her control over gravity. Her judgment was perfect, and just like that, Wu Feng's dragon claws slashed nothing but thin air, passing over her body. Oh no. Wu Feng sensed that something was amiss. However, she had no intention of retreating. Instead, her right leg flew into the air like a bolt of lightning as she tried to kick Jang Nanen. Horizontal roll. Jiang Nanan was able to grab Wu Feng's right leg with her hands from a sideways position. Had it been anyone else, they would be burnt by the dragon fire that blazed on Wu Feng's right leg. However, Jiang Nanan was immune to it. With the power of her mysterious jade hands, she had no such fear. On the other hand, when Wu Feng felt Jiang Nanan's hand squeeze the bottom of her knee, she noticed that her right calf lost all sensation. Wu Feng had always been strong. Faced with this situation, she showed no sign of weakness. Instead, she kicked out at Jiang Nanan, who was grabbing onto her right leg with her left leg. At the same time, the fifth soul ring on her body lit up. She turned into a red dragon once again and unleashed her most powerful soul skill, Dragon Cloud Pierce. She not only used this soul skill to break free from Jiang Nanan, but she also relied on it to turn the tables on her. However, at this time, Jiang Nanan's fifth soul ring lit up as well. Even though their power was the same, how could Jiang Nanan be known as one of Shrek's 7 monsters if she gave her opponent any chance at retaliation at such a close distance? Golden light flashed, and Jiang Nanan grabbed Wu Feng's left leg too. Then, before Wu Feng could fully unleash her fifth soul skill, a layer of golden light started to creep up her legs. Everywhere it touched, Wu Feng could feel her lower limbs going numb. When the golden light reached her navel, she felt her soul power drain from her body. Her soul skill, which she was in the midst of using, was forcibly halted. She collapsed onto the ground. Jiang Nanan's figure could be seen in the golden light once more. This was her fifth soul skill, soft bone lock. Wu Feng's soul power and body were completely sealed. She lost all abilities to fight. Naturally, under this condition, Jiang Nanan could not continue to attack. However, for a soul master like her, it was enough. As long as she released soft bone lock, she would regain her abilities much quicker than Wu Feng. Jiang Nanan wins. She passes the second round. Adventure. A few rays of light shone simultaneously. Wu Feng and Ning Tian returned to where they were. They recovered fully from their fight with Jiang Nanan. At this moment, Jiang Nanan disappeared from where she was too. No one knew where she went. Undoubtedly, Jiang Nanan was the first person to pass the second round based on her own merits, other than the 3 who were exempted. At the same time, she showed Wu Feng, Ning Tian, Douluo and Dalu the difference in their abilities. This was due to a disparity in strength. Jiang Nanan, viewed as the weakest among Shrek's 7 monsters, was able to defeat a combination of the strongest auxiliary type martial soul, Ning Tian and her 7 treasure blazed pagoda, and Wu Feng, who possessed the fire dragon. Even though the small arena was to Jiang Nanan's advantage, it was clear that her strength was superior to both Wu Feng and Ning Tian. 6 out of the original 13 were gone. Only 7 were left. Huo Yuao, Wang Donga, Wang Qia, Wu Feng, Douluo, Ning Tian, and Dai Huobin. The wheel appeared once more, and a golden light shone, attracting everyone's attention. This time, Dai Huobin was the one who was chosen for the wheel's adventure. The wheel spun, and this time, it stopped rather quickly. The symbol that appeared in front of Dai Huobin was a pair of swords. Defeat your opponent, and you shall pass this round. If your opponent beats you, they'll pass this round. The loser will be sent to the deep adventure round. The moment the voice stopped speaking, a ray of golden light shot out. This time, it did not even spin. Instead, it landed directly on Douluo. This was an adventure indeed. However, it was not one of strength, but one of the heart. Despite Dai Huobin's strong personality, when he saw that it was Douluo who was chosen by the light, a bitter look crossed his face. The golden light flashed, and Douluo appeared in front of Dai Huobin. The two of them looked at each other. Both of them had complicated looks in their eyes. Douluo, in particular, looked at Dai Huobin as tears streamed down her face. Her lips trembled, but she did not say anything. Dai Huobin sighed and said softly, "Lulu, I'm sorry. It's all my fault. I've never thought about my deepest thoughts. I'm wrong. There's nothing else to say. If we can leave this place alive, I'll love you and you alone with all my heart. No one else shall have my heart. I can see defeat for this round. I choose the deep adventure." After he finished this sentence, tears fell from Dai Huobin's eyes. "No." Douluo shouted hysterically. However, it was too late. The golden light flashed, and Dai Huobin disappeared. Dai Huobin admits defeat. Douluo successfully passes this round. Wait a moment. I don't want to pass this round. I want to go with him to the deep adventure round. Let me go. Let me go. Douluo cried. Her voice choked, and she no longer sounded human. The moment Dai Huobin conceded defeat and risked it all to go into the deep adventure round, all of the unhappiness in her heart disappeared. Are you sure you want to choose the deep adventure? If you and Dai Huobin take part in deep adventure together, it'll be even more difficult. I choose the deep adventure. Even if I die, I want to die with him. All right, I shall satisfy your request. Douluo shall progress to the deep adventure round. The golden light flashed, and Douluo disappeared. Silence. The wheel fell into a deathly silence. The mysterious existence appeared to have disappeared. For a long while, there was no sound. Everyone had seen what had happened, including Huo Yuao. While he did not know what had happened between Douluo and Dai Huobin, he felt his heart wrench when he saw Dai Huobin choose the deep adventure without any hesitation so that Douluo could pass this round. In his heart, Dai Huobin had always been his enemy, his foe. He was the murderer who had killed his mother. However, when he personally witnessed Dai Huobin reveal his emotional side, he felt even more anguish. If Dai Huobin were a cruel and selfish person, he would have no qualms about seeking revenge in the future. However, he now realized that through his interactions with his peers, his ever-deepening love for Donga, and his personal experiences of worldly affairs, the hatred in his heart seemed to have faded. No. I must have my revenge on him and his mother. If not for them, how could mother have died? This touched the most sensitive part of his heart. Huo Yuao reacted to this pain unknowingly. He clenched his fists tightly. However, even though he was determined to have his revenge, Dai Huobin's actions just now receded into his mind. The golden light appeared once more. This time, it landed on Wang Qia. The wheel spun, and Huo Yuao's turbulent emotions were calmed in the face of the golden light. He could subtly feel that regardless of what Wang Qia got, it would have something to do with him. The golden light stopped, and the symbol that appeared underneath Wang Qia's feet was the one that had appeared in front of Jiang Nanan earlier on. It was the one with the 3 fists. You have to defeat 2 other randomly chosen opponents. If you beat them, you pass. If you lose, you'll go to the deep adventure round. If your opponents win, their tasks shall still be decided by the wheel, but their difficulty level will be reduced. If your opponents lose, their tasks shall still be decided by the wheel, but their difficulty level will be increased. 2 rays of golden light, without even spinning, fell onto Huo Yuao and Wang Donga. Then they flashed, and 3 of them were facing each other in the center of the stage. The 3 of them looked at each other. All of them felt strange. Wang Qia's gaze stared intently at Huo Yuao as she said, "Bring it on, the 2 of you. Don't concede defeat, because that will be an underestimation of my abilities. I've waited for this for a long time. I didn't get my chance in the tournament, so let me have it now." Huo Yuao sighed and said, "Qia, what are you doing this for?" Wang Qia said, "I'm sure I can beat you." In her resolute eyes, Huo Yuao appeared to have seen his own intense hate. His heart softened, and he said, "All right, since you want to fight me so badly, bring it on. However, this will be a fight between the 2 of us. For fairness' sake, and for my own glory, Donga shall not take part. This shall just a fight between you and me, all right?" Wang Qia looked at Huo Yuao's human-shaped soul tool, and she said coldly, "Are you that confident?" Huo Yuao smiled and said, "Have you forgotten how Yanfeng died at my hands, Donga?" As he said that, he turned to look at her. They exchanged glances and Wang Donga smiled slightly and nodded. While she did not know what Huo Yuao wanted to do, she had to support her man at this moment. She too could sense the determination in Wang Qia's heart. Where does this determination come from? From your own unresolved feelings. Regardless of whether she wins or loses, let her have this chance. At the very least, she would not actually injure Huo Yuao. Wang Donga was sure of this. She turned and stepped back to watch the battle from the side. Wang Qia looked at Huo Yuao, and her gaze turned cold as she said, "I never expected to fight you under these circumstances. I'll do my best, and I won't hold back. You know me. I won't regret my words. I hope you'll do your best to, as a sign of respect to me." Huo Yuao looked at her seriously, then nodded. His human-shaped soul tool sealed shut, enveloping his body within. Even with a human-shaped soul tool, no one thought that Huo Yuao had an unfair advantage. He was immobile, and he could not unleash the power in his legs. He was nowhere near as agile as he normally would be. With the current development of human-shaped soul tools, it would be difficult for Huo Yuao to be stronger and better than he normally was without it. Furthermore, this was designed and made at the last minute, with absolutely no add-ons. Wang Qia lifted her hand, and a golden light started to shine. She gripped her golden dragon spear tightly in her hands. When she saw the bright golden spear appear, a look of worry crossed Wang Donga's face as she watched from afar. Weapons had no eyes. This was different from a bare-handed brawl. Why was Qia so serious? "Are you ready?" As Wang Qiu raised her golden dragon spear, a layer of golden fog started to waft from her body. The air started to shine with a golden layer of light. A powerful soul power surged forth from her body and targeted Hua Yuao, coming toward him with the force of a tidal wave. Faced with this oppression, Hua Yuao controlled his human-shaped soul tool with his spiritual power. He stepped out with his left leg and squatted slightly with his body. He raised both hands in a defensive gesture in front of him. At the same time, a layer of golden light shone from his body. This was the energy of his sovereign's descent. Following that, a golden figure floated behind his back. This was his unique skill, Goddess of Light. Faced with an opponent like Wang Qiu, Hua Yuao did not dare to hold back at all. He knew that Wang Qiu was able to improve even more from this tournament. All aspects of her power showed improvement, and her abilities were even stronger than before. Furthermore, he was rather immobile. He could only move with the help of his human-shaped soul tool. In a one-on-one fight, it would be difficult to beat her. However, he had to be careful. Hua Yuao did not care so much as to whether he would win or lose to her. There was nothing shameful about losing to Wang Qiu. All he wanted was to not lose too badly. Bring it on. Hua Yuao cried out. Wang Qiu narrowed her eyes. The look in her eyes became razor-sharp. She bent forward slightly, then charged. Almost instantly, she appeared in front of Hua Yuao. She stabbed at Hua Yuao's chest with her golden dragon spear. An emerald light flashed, and a thick emerald green pillar about the size of Hua Yuao's chest shot out. It met Wang Qiu's attack head-on. Hua Yuao understood Wang Qiu's strength too well. This tyrannical woman loved to charge straight ahead when she fought. At such a close distance, he would rather use his own judgment than depend on spiritual detection. Hence, the moment he shouted "Bring it on!" Hua Yuao had already activated his Ice Empress Wrath. Ultimate Ice took the shape of an emerald green pillar, which crashed straight into Wang Qiu. She was like a moth that flew straight into the fire. An intense golden light shone from Wang Qiu's body. The golden fog protected her, and it was able to resist against Ice Empress Wrath. Furthermore, an umbrella-like light shone from the golden dragon spear in her hands. While Hua Yuao managed to stop her, he could not push her back. Among the 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 2 black soul rings on Wang Qiu's body, 2 of them lit up together. The strength of her first soul skill, golden dragon body, and her second soul skill, dragon strength, were both activated. She roared and, basking in the power of her 2 soul skills, continued to pierce through Ice Empress Wrath. Her target was Hua Yuao's chest. However, as the Ice Empress Wrath helped to block her, Hua Yuao was able to resolve his speed and agility problems. Borrowing the light of ultimate ice from the Ice Empress Wrath, he took a few steps back. The golden figure behind him turned into a ball of intense light as he met Wang Qiu's attack. An intense energy burst forth on top of the wheel. It rose high up into the air like a tornado. At this moment, the spectators not only included Wang Donga, but also Wu Feng and Ning Tian. While they could not sense the power, they could still watch. As they watched, their faces changed. We're all of the same age, so why are they so powerful? It's understandable for the captain, as she's almost 20 years old. However, Hua Yuao is only 17, but he's so powerful. He can even match the captain and he has the advantage right now. That was right. Hua Yuao had the advantage in this clash. An intense explosion rang through the air, and energy surged upward. Both Hua Yuao and Wang Qiu had neglected something, and that was the fact that they were fighting in a rather small area. When such a strong soul power kicked in, the strength of the rebound made the entire area around them vibrate. Neither of them could stand straight as they both hurriedly retreated. At this moment, Hua Yuao's advantage became clear. He had used the Ice Empress Wrath to slow Wang Qiu, and then fought her with the Goddess of Light. Hence, he was only affected by the power of the rebound, while Wang Qiu had to contend with the strength of the Goddess of Light as well. Furthermore, she also had to deal with the coldness of Hua Yuao's ultimate ice. She retreated quickly, and only steadied herself near the edge of the battlefield. Wang Qiu had improved, but so had Hua Yuao. His greatest advantage lay in the fact that he had more soul skills than an ordinary soul master. Hence, with more soul skills, he had more options as he fought. The main problem he faced was how he should combine his soul skills. As he gained more experience, he became more confident in his own mastery of his various powers. To him, all he had to ensure while he unleashed his soul skills was that he had enough soul power. His spiritual power had also continued to increase, which allowed Hua Yuao to be more precise as he used his soul power to activate his soul skills. This reduced soul power wastage, just like his Ice Empress Wrath just now. The moment Goddess of Light touched Wang Qiu, he was able to stop Ice Empress Wrath with his strong controlling abilities. He did not unleash the full strength of this attack. An immense soul power tore through the air, and Wang Qiu did not wait for it to stop. She raised her right leg and stepped on the edge of this strange world. Then, she pushed herself forward as her golden dragon spear dazzled with light. She charged straight toward Hua Yuao. This time, she was strengthened by her first and second soul skills. In terms of strength, she was much stronger and faster than before. It was not realistic to try and hide in such a small space. Hua Yuao did not try that. A deep blue figure appeared behind him and instantly grew larger. Her expression was icy cold, and she wielded absolute power over ice and snow. It was the Snow Empress. The Snow Empress figure entered Hua Yuao's body instantly. He raised his right arm, and a dark blue sword light formed, which turned into a shockingly long ray of light that slashed down vertically. The spear light, which encompassed a wide area, appeared insignificant next to this. Looking at its shape, it seemed capable of splitting heaven and earth. Unparalleled chill, Empress sword. This was the most powerful sword from the perfect fusion of Hua Yuao and the Snow Empress. The vast amount of spear light was concentrated into one stalk. It tapped the edge of the deep blue light, and a faint ding could be heard. Then, the deep blue Empress sword bounced into the air and disappeared into nothing. However, the golden dragon spear stopped too. A deep blue light started to spread from the tip of the spear. It crept halfway down the spear before it was forcibly stopped by the golden yellow light. However, Wang Qiu, who gripped the spear tightly, appeared to be covered by a layer of ice. His ultimate ice had become even purer. Wang Qiu could sense her entire body freezing up. She could not help but gasp in shock. She had never expected Hua Yuao to fight her head on. Could he really pull it off? At this moment, Hua Yuao, who had been on the defensive since the start of the battle, started to go on the offensive. Light shone from his back once more and, propelled by his soul thruster, he soon appeared in front of Wang Qiu. An odd scene appeared. The armor of his human-shaped soul tool above his hand opened, and his bare palm was revealed. He pushed out with this palm and hit Wang Qiu's right shoulder. When she saw Hua Yuao's palm, which shone with an odd deep blue light, Wang Qiu's face soured. Despite her fierce fighting style, she did not dare to come into contact with Hua Yuao. Her body flashed in, pivoting on her golden dragon spear. She swiftly retreated. Hua Yuao was familiar with her powers, so how could she not be familiar with his? When he struck with his left hand, this was evidently Hua Yuao's most powerful snowless glacier. This supreme coldness was something that even Wang Qiu could not deal with. Had it been anyone else, she would have taken the blow and counterattacked. But once this coldness entered her body, it would be game over for her. Wang Qiu retreated in a flash, but Hua Yuao showed no sign of evading his attack. He struck out with his left palm once more, and then switched to his right fist, which was armor-clad. A golden light flashed, and Goddess of Light appeared behind Hua Yuao once more. Undoubtedly, this punch was imbued with the power of his ability. Wang Qiu already had a bone to pick with Hua Yuao. Now, as he attacked relentlessly, she became even more enraged. A dragon roar resonated in the air as she raised her hands. Her left hand struck Hua Yuao's right fist, while she tried to grab Hua Yuao's head with her right hand. She feared Hua Yuao's spiritual shock most. To him, this was the best chance to unleash that powerful attack. As his spiritual power increased, Hua Yuao's spiritual shock became more powerful as well. Wang Qiu was confident that she could take it, but if she did, her body would surely be injured. Furthermore, once she was injured, she would move much slower. Hence, as she struck, she first tried to take care of Hua Yuao's head by using her immense aura to suppress him. She was confident that if Hua Yuao used spiritual shock now, she would lose control of her soul, but her attack would not cease. At the very least, she would not be at a disadvantage. Thanks so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Also leave a comment down below with suggestions on what novels to read.